Hey everybody, this is OKCoyote, and welcome back to my Magic the Gathering December Pack-A-Day Challenge for December 21st. Today's pack is Kaldheim. So, if you are new to this series and you don't know what I'm doing, I am opening a pack of Magic the Gathering every day for 31 days. Every day in December, I have a different set for each day of the month. So 31 days, 31 different sets. As I mentioned, today's set is Kaldheim, which this is a plane that came out early this year or late last year, something like that. It's fairly recent. It's the first time we've been to this plane. I believe it's a snowy plane. I think they brought back like the Ice Age style snowlands and some cards that trigger off that. I don't remember. I'm blanking on the sets. I don't remember a whole lot about what's in it. So yeah, I was playing during this time, but I can't remember much about the set. That's okay. I might not know what's in the set, but we're gonna find out what's in this pack right now. So let's get into it. Oh, this is another one where the cards are turned the other way in the pack, so I've got to flip the cards over. Oh, no, they're not. So, weirdly, with this pack, the rare is still on the bottom, but all the cards are face down, so we've got to look at it. Instead of, like, seeing a common and seeing another common under and seeing another, like, they are face down. So, alright, so I'm going to have to flip them over one at a time. So, alright, that's fine. We will start off with a Funeral Longboat. It is a 2-mana, 3/3 artifact vehicle. So, vehicles came back in this set. Okay. It has Vigilance and Crew 1. So you can tap any number of creatures you control with total power 1 or more, and this vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Vehicles are pretty good. You know, the drawback is obviously you have to have creatures on the battlefield in order to use them, but being able to control when they're creatures and thus when they can become targeted is pretty decent. And 3/3 Vigilance for 2 mana, it's good. I like it. Okay, next up. Smashing Success. This is 3 and a red for an instant. It says, destroy target artifact or land. If an artifact is destroyed this way, create a treasure token. A treasure is an artifact that you can tap and sacrifice to add 1 mana of any color. Cool. Not a great card. Particularly in a draft format, you're not doing much artifact or land destruction, and even getting a treasure token out of it is not that useful. God's Hall Guardian. 5 and a white for a 3/6 cat. Oh, right, this was the Foretell set. Okay, I remember now. 3/6 Vigilance and Foretell, 3 and a white. During your turn, you may pay 2 and exile this card from your hand face down. Cast it on a later turn for its Foretell cost. So, for some cards, sometimes you want to Foretell. This is sort of like you pay a down payment and then you can play it later. Sometimes you save mana by doing it that way. Sometimes just getting it out of your hand is nice, and sometimes you'll have cards that trigger off that, being able to play cards from exile or something like that. Anyway, this is fine. You can foretell this. Yeah, you can foretell this early and play it as early as turn 4. So a 3/6 Vigilance on turn 4 is pretty solid, actually. Yeah, it's not a bad card. Seize the Spoils. This is 2 and a red, sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card. Draw 2 cards and create a treasure token. I'm not sure how good this is. Red likes their rummage effects. It's it's similar to blues, draw a card and discard a card. They call that looting. In red, it's the reverse. You have to discard in order to draw. So you're basically giving up this card and another card. You're losing 2 to get 2 more cards. You get one of the mana back by getting a treasure token. So I guess if you're hurting, you're trying to dig into your deck a little, or maybe you need that other color, or maybe you just need to up your storm count. I don't know. I don't know that this is that great. I could be way off. It's probably good. Drawing cards is always good. What am I saying? Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think it's for me. Next up, we have Demonic Gifts. This is 1 and a black for an instant. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains, when this creature dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. This is the type of combat trick I like. Not only does your creature get a boost and can possibly kill something that your opponent wasn't expecting it to, but then you also get to keep your creature around, possibly even triggering new enters the battlefield or leaves the battlefield trigger. So this is a pretty nice trick. I do appreciate it. Snakeskin Veil. This is a green mana instant. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn. This is not bad either. This can be a combat trick, but usually this is used as a save my creature from being targeted by removal type of card, which can be good. I don't feel it's quite as strong, but sometimes you want to save your creature from removal. Feed the Serpent. 2 black instant. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. 4 mana, just get rid of the worst threat on the battlefield. Can you get rid of a planeswalker? Yeah, I like it. This is a great card. Great card. 4 mana is a bit, but for what it does, I would take this highly in draft. Gotta get your removal. Jarrah, Kinseekers. 3 and a blue. 3 and a blue for a 2/4 shapeshifter with Changeling. This card is every creature type. When Jarrah Kinseekers enters the battlefield, if you control 3 or more creatures that share a creature type, put a +1/+1 counter on Jarrah Kinseekers, then scry 1. So if it just comes into play as a 2/4 for 4, not great. If you're playing a deck that really makes use of this, other shapeshifters, or maybe like all wizards or something like that, then you play this as a 3/5 for 4 and get a scry off it. That's pretty good. Relatively weak on its own. This is something I would draft if I've kind of already built my deck and it looks like it would fit well. Next is a Demon Bolt. 2 and a red instant. Demon Bolt deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Foretell for 1 red. This is pretty sick. So 4 damage for 3 mana. And if you foretell it, it's actually still 4 damage for 3 mana. You pay 2, exile it, and then on a later turn, you only have to pay 1. It could even be your opponent's turn. Yeah. That's great removal. That's a solid burn spell. Very good pick. Frostpeak Veil. Sorry, I don't know why I thought Veil there. Didn't read that right. Frostpeak Yeti. This is a 3 and a blue for a 3/3 snow creature, Yeti. You can pay 1 and a snow mana. Frostpeak Yeti can't be blocked this turn. Snow mana can be paid with 1 mana from a snow source. So a snow-covered land or any land that says snow on it, or anything that taps for mana that says snow on it, is a snow source. Yeah. So, a 3/3 for 4 is a hill giant. That's what it is. It's a mid-range creature. It's not spectacular. but it could fill a hole in your curve. And if you're drafting, hope you have a snowland. Snowland will make this pretty good. We're moving into the uncommons with Weathered Runestone. This is a 2-mana artifact that says, non-land permanent cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. So this will hose cards with, for example, Flashback. Yeah, I don't know. That's the most obvious one I can think of. Yeah, cards that can be cast out of your graveyard, cards that can come back. Escape, maybe. Is that? Yeah, permanents in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. So, like, yeah, you still, even if that's not casting, you still can't use that ability. So, yeah, these will hose those types of decks. I don't know how strong it is in this set. It's probably not a high draft pick, but this is the kind of card you would put in your commander deck to really mess with somebody's day. Next is the Jarrah Glade Warden. 3 and a green for a 3/3 shapeshifter with Changeling. Pay 2 and a green and tap and exile a creature card from your graveyard to put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So it's fine, but I don't like that ability. And I've said this before about the Outlast ability, and I don't like that you have to tap this as a sorcery to get its basically a +2/+2. You're basically giving up this 3 power creature for the turn to give something 2 power, and I don't feel that's a fair trade to not be able to use it at instant speed. Otherwise, the card's all right. Provoke the Trolls. That sounds like something you would do on the internet. 3 and a red, instant. Provoke the Trolls deals 3 damage to any target. If a creature is dealt damage this way, it gets +5/+0 until end of turn. Now that's really weird. So this can be whatever you want it to be. Do you want it to be a burn spell? It's a burn spell. Do you want it to be a massive combat trick? Sure. Give your very tough creature a big old boost. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't like the damaging your own creature. It really limits what you can do with this card. But it does things. It's versatile, at least. Before we move on to our rare, let's look at what else is in this pack. We have the double-faced card. This is no longer the checklist cards like you had in the old Innistrad sets. This is just a blank card where you can write out the title of your double-faced card. So if you don't want to sleeve your deck, this has a card back. So this can represent a double-faced card that's in your deck. So this is a set with double-faced cards in it. Our land slot in the pack is a snow-covered land. It's a snow-covered plains. So there you go. It's a basic snow land. Still taps for white mana, but it's a snow source. And it's a basic land, so you can still have as many of them as you want in a deck. But if you're drafting, you are limited by what you are able to draft. I think. I don't know what the rules are on that. I think that's how it is. And our rare, this is an interesting one. Our rare is Cosima, God of the Voyage. This is a double-sided card. We'll get to that in a moment. It is 2 and a blue for a 2/4 legendary creature god. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile Cosima. If you do, it gains whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control. If Cosima is exiled, you may put a voyage counter on it. If you don't, return Cosima to the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it and draw X cards, where X is the number of voyage counters on it. that's pretty neat. So if you play this early, you can just kind of immediately take it out, bring it back whenever you want, or let it build up. Put some lands into play. Let this build up, and then it comes in later as something really, really big and gives you a bunch of card draws. It's a very interesting idea. It's sort of like a time spiralish, paying time to put a big creature out sort of play. Anyway, I mentioned this is a double face card. This is, I believe, a modal double face card. So it has two sides with two different cards that do two different things, and you can cast it as either side. So you don't have to play it as Cosima if you want. You can play it as the Omen Keel. This is 1 and a blue for a legendary artifact vehicle. It's 3/3 when it becomes a creature. Whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles that many cards from the top of their library. You may play lands from among those cards for as long as they remain exiled. And crew 1. This is really cool. It's very different from... hang on, I have a cat jumping on the table. Get down. Thank you. Very different from traditional blue... I think it's blue or red. Anyway, they're abilities that let you exile cards from your opponent's deck and then let you cast them later. This does that with lands, so very interesting. This is a great card, I think. Either side of it is a fantastic effect, and I wouldn't know which side I would want to play if I were running this in my draft. I do know that I would probably take this first. It's a tough choice because you've got Feed the Serpent, which I think is a very high pick. Demon Bolt, I think, is also a very high pick. But I think I would be very tempted to try this god, to take it out for a spin and see what kind of power it brought to my game. So that's my pick, and that is this pack of Kaldheim. Don't forget to like this video if you liked this video. You can also subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitter over at OKCoyote. That's it for today's edition of the Magic the Gathering Pack-A-Day Challenge. We'll see you tomorrow with another pack. Bye-bye.